Hello and welcome. My name is Ben Jings Williams and I'll be hosting this production. It is my first one, so I'm very excited to be here. Hopefully I am speaking to somebody, or if not, I'll be just walking through virtual production and my take on it, and a new app which has been around for a while but has only come over to Europe recently, and I've managed to get my hands on it, have a play, and like you to experience it with me. So right, so without further ado, let's stop this. And so hopefully let's go into studio mode, and we are currently live on YouTube. I'm just going to check I am coming through nice and clearly on LinkedIn for you all. Da-da-da. And perfect. Just make sure I turn this off. So it is, there I am. And hopefully the audio is coming through nice and clearly, which I'll just double check now. Test, test, test. And hopefully be able to hear myself. It's always good checking these things. Perfect. So that's coming through nice and clearly. So, without further ado, let's have go to here, and we are going to go. Let's turn you off then, and we are going to go to horizontal website, and that's why silly me. We are going to go to here. So let's cut to the scene. So, I named this this session, exploring virtual production, searching for affordable VP or virtual production studios solutions, and very much it's a world which I'm very excited about. Virtual production has really revolutionized a way of making productions, and it's probably good to actually explain what a virtual production is. So let's move on to the next slide. Sort of what we'll be discussing today. So I'm going to introduce you to virtual production, followed by the benefits of virtual production, which we'll go into a second, and then technologies behind the actual virtual productions, and then a quick demo of Sky Glass, which is the app on my iOS, which hopefully will keep going, and which I'll give you a sneak peek later on. So, introduction into virtual production. What is it? So, very much, if you have been hiding in a cave and not seen The Mandalorian, it's very much Disney has set a bar with virtual productions, and they produced a massive video wall, which they called a volume, which is more like, it wasn't a wall, it was a complete and utter volume. Think of an upside down silo, and completely ceiling to floor of LCD panels, very high resolution. And what they can do with that LCD's wall is basically project any graphics they like onto it, and majority of the time, or any environment they like onto it, and interactiveness that they have. And using Unreal Engine, they can project this world onto the actual video walls, and then using camera tracking, basically give the parallax effect. So things that move in the background as the camera moves. Traditionally, if you had a projection onto a wall, the projection wouldn't move. So the thing is that you get that jarring effect on if you're watching old films which have been projected on the background, and you have like the car sequence, and like the car's going one way or the camera's moving, the background doesn't move how it should do. So if it moves, like things will move around. I'll demonstrate this in a minute. And this is really exciting. So as you can see from the picture here, that's above me, wrong hand. You have the video wall, the ceiling, and the actual size and the actual walls, and then you have the camera, which is usually which is tracked in Unreal. And then what can happen is that because of the light being emitted on from the actual LED walls, actually lights the subjects up. So it's sort of, there is lots of things that move back and forth of benefits and pros and cons to this, but they are lit by the walls, so it sort of gives that sort of natural feeling. And when it comes to reflection as well, it's the actual as the Mandalorian's helmet and armor was very reflective. If you were using green screen, they would be reflecting green, and then it'd be really hard to actually key out of the key out of the afterwards in post production. So that's the visual effects houses would have to spend lots of time doing it. And if the actual reflection is there in the walls, it helps sort of build the actual illusion of them being in that environment. So, so why is this exciting? It means that production can be done in a simple area. It can be done in one location, and then the location can be updated multiple times without actually having to move the set. And then obviously you do the set changes on the actual physical part, and you can also do live updates. So usually what used to happen was that you'd be filmed on green screen or blue screen, and then that will be then handed to the production house, and then they would key them out, the actors and the actual physical elements of the set, and the background will be keyed out, and then the actual composites of the graphics would be placed on behind them. So a lot of the times is that you used to see, if there's, say, you looked at Jurassic Park, so the fact that they were looking up at the dinosaurs which weren't there, so the actors would have to reference, and sometimes you get that when they're staring at one place and they should be staring at another because they haven't got any actual reference to where they should be looking because it hasn't been made yet. So the great thing about virtual production is that the graphics side is done beforehand, the VFX. And so the thing is that the actors can actually see it on set as well. So the thing is they can interact with stuff which is in front of them. So it helps them with their acting job. I've had a privilege of going and having a look at the Garden Studios up in North London and seeing that in live. And that was quite amazing as the fact that you could be in Hong Kong 1 minute and then in the desert the next minute, and very simple lighting tweaks and everything else, and it's amazing how quickly these things can be turned around. But also the fact that you have a visual representation within the actual set rather than having to use your actors to guess or be sort of directed to where they should look, and all the sort of preparation you have to do before that. So, if you do have any questions or if I'm rambling on, please just put a comment down, and I'm just going to check everything here. Bear with me. We are live. Perfect. It's all coming through. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go back to my presentation, and so we talked about the actual volume or the video wall space which you do it all in. And even though the actual setup costs and the getting things in and making the background so you can go and make the actual virtual environments in Unreal, you can buy assets and everything else and really quickly put together a really nice backdrop. The thing that is sort of obviously it's the costs have been reduced in one place, but you have to obviously have the set, the cameras, the lighting, the actual VFF artists and everything like that. Is that it's still quite a barrier to entry, as in it's quite expensive, even though it is getting cheaper and cheaper. And I see that there are companies in America that are now having like an entry level of $10,000, which is fantastic for doing a virtual production. But what about the average Joe like me, who likes getting my hands sort of wanting to use the technology and get involved and everything else? And I've been seeing this app called Skyglass, and I was really intrigued, and it's finally come to Europe and allowed me to. I've downloaded it, had a play. I've upgraded to the studio version, so I can actually show it off to you because I couldn't output the HDMI, so but or the video actually to stream. But without further ado, I think what we'll do is we'll quickly, I'm going to change to, bear with me, let's turn this off, and I'm going to quickly trans to this. So this is their website, and as you can see on the left hand side, you have two actors that are in a green screen, very simple green screen space, and then what the actual footage on the left hand side is showing is the composite and actual tracking done in your iPhone, which I think is just mind blowing to think that we've gone from, if you go back way back when, where you had sort of like the Star Wars, which is all a blue screen and everything was keyed out, and then all the hard work done there, and then obviously green screen came along, and then that was all done by hand, and then obviously the likes of Premiere and Photoshop, so Final Cut and everything else, sort of being able to actually key out the green and then composites or the actual graphics in. But it's all very it's amazing what you can do on your home PC, and you can make it look very good. And I have been playing with Unreal and putting my iPhone as a tracker, and then actually having the background move on a TV behind me, which I'll hopefully produce a video to show you this off. But what I find is the fact that your iPhone can do, firstly, the tracking. Secondly, the actual, you can upload Unreal environments onto it. I haven't had a full chance to play with this yet, but with the actual demos in it, I've been able to play with these environments and move the shot around and everything else, which I'll demonstrate in a second. And it's all on your phone, and it's something that we carry around every day, and is amazing. It's such a powerful thing. What I've done is I am now streaming my iPhone to the computer, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly turn off this, and then I'm going to turn off this, and so I'm going to transition here. I've got my shortcuts. So there you go. So yes, you can see I have this really complicated background. I've got stripy wallpaper and a yellow scene underneath, yellow paint underneath the wall, and I am being keyed out by the iPhone and the software, or app, and you would think, well, you can do this in Google Meets or Zoom, or this is nothing. What really what blew me away was firstly, how good the key is without any background. Okay, I should have a green screen up and have it keyed out there, but I just wanted to show you the implication and how quickly this can actually be done. But I'm going to pick up my iPhone and I can then show off the parallax. So the thing is that as the camera moves and I move, it's very much, the background is moving how it would do if I was being filmed on camera in an actual place. And it's amazing. It's just like, there I am. And then if I want to go a bit further forward, is the fact that you go, well, I don't want to be the talent, I want to be holding it as like a selfie cam. If I actually switch the cameras around, and there might be some altercations, and I'll point there you go, done. And obviously this is me looking around it, but there is an option to actually gamify it, and then and then it's not gonna like it. Go on, you're gonna gamify, you're gonna know, you're not gonna do it nicely. So let's go to horizontal. It was working so well, the delights of, right, so gamify, and hopefully what I'll do is I'll actually lock the screen off. There you go. Right, let's lock that off and see if this works. No, it's not going to allow me. It did work earlier. There's always a way. And this is why you always test. Right, so I'm going to do a very quick adjustment. Bear with me. So I think you can see one of the toggle switches underneath. So the thing is that as I move forward, I can actually move around the set. So, and then swing the camera around. And this is looking amazing on my screen, but unfortunately not so much here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin this around and then move it up. Oops, and move it up. I'm sorry, this is, and then what I'm going to do is, now that I've reset it so I'm a bit nearer to the wall, there you go. I'm going to spin this around for myself again, and it is totally not playing ball. Set floor height, there you go. Hopefully, there you go, I'm back again. So the thing is, I've switched the position of where the camera, the virtual camera is on the set. So I'm now by the window, and there we go. And the thing is that if I go here, and then hopefully if I go to horizon, portrait mode and transition here, we can have a quick look at the app itself. And what we're going to do, I am going to quickly go here, and you can actually see some of the actual demos that they've uploaded themselves. So I can do anything from so am I still going live? Bear with me. Yes, I am. Sorry. So what we can do, we can actually scroll up and down, and you can see all the sort of scenes that they've created, and everything from sort of a gladiator arena to studios to beaches, and very much you can upload your own content. So, but the thing is, it does take a bit of time to actually download the content onto the device. So let us go into, I don't know, Subway. No. And then I'm going to flick this around and then go back to previous, and bear with me, sorry. And then there you go. If I go to here, transition here, you can see that, okay, I'm lit very well for this dingy subway. I could probably change this very quickly, but oops, I didn't want that. Why is it on there? Right, transition. Perfect. So if I go to my light settings, I can just make myself a bit darker. And then the thing is that obviously I haven't got the volume to light me, but so, and it's got lots of adjustments, but I think you can really like tone it in, and then so you can light the subject so it matches the actual background to give it a bit more of a similar feeling. So, but it's very intuitive, and I think I'd love to put this on a gimbal and a bit more stability. So that is, I just find it really, really interesting, and it's just such a, you could very quickly upload your scene that you've created in Unreal, and I'm just going to put this down for a second. I'm just going to switch the scene, and we put this on charge, make sure everything's running. No, so the fact that Chain of Thought is very much, we can put like upload your own, create your own scene in Unreal, which is obviously a free bit of software. And then once it's uploaded, we can alter the shots and everything else. Find out, say if you're doing a scene, and then you can alter it from the two angles. It can record locally as well, so you can record the actual footage of what's being seen by the virtual camera with the actual composite, and it'll also record the original footage. So whether if you want to do something in post later, and there are new features coming out with it which sound really interesting. So it has AI lighting. So say if I was in a scene with cars going overhead, which I've seen a demonstration of on their website, is that it'll actually color correct the subject, and it will actually give it like a shadow cast over them as these flying cars going over your head. And the thing is, as the camera moves, or the person, it actually figures out if there's a neon light near them, so it sort of gives them sort of, there's a pink one, a bit of pink light tinge to their skin and clothing. And I find this really amazing. It's going, this is all in an app, and if you told me I could do this, I would say year ago, I'd be like, that'd be amazing, and now it's here. So there are sort of drawbacks. It's still in its sort of early days, but I really feel that this is something quite incredible and a real creative tool, and you can really like work with the actors and directors and give people an idea of what they can sort of like you can do with it. And it also, if you're showing like a client what a set was, like obviously you can do it, give them a pair of virtual goggles, but to get them into the actual scene and everything else, I think is really, really powerful. So the last thing I want to show you on the app, and if there are no questions, I'll close off. But no, thank you very much for those who are listening and join me today. Let's go to so it's around is that it actually has AI built into it. Obviously, not the actual coloring, but AI that is. Let's cut back to let's go to portrait, and that is the person that I'm going to have to be right back because I've been waiting for this driver to come through. It's Sky Glass Rich, the app. So bear with me. I'll be right back. And And I'm back. Sorry for the pause there. So, where was I? I was talking about the fact that the Sky Glass in the app can actually create AI environment. So we can come up with an idea of, say, I want it a London scene, and I think let's actually test it out. So bear with me. Sorry, I just run up and down the stairs quickly to give parcel to somebody, but and they always come in late, and especially when you want to do a live. So what we're going to do is actually, I'm going to flip this around, and we're going to portrait mode, and then we are going to go click here, and then bottom right hand corner you can see create with AI, and you can see there's a couple of tests I did earlier. So, but does anybody have an idea of what would like as an environment to go into? There's going to be like a 15-second delay, so I will fill the space, but if you want to put it in chat, you're more than welcome to. And I think whilst I'm doing it, let's just build maybe a London skyline evening, and we can do, I think we can also choose sort of sci-fi, pen and ink, all these different types of scenes, but let's go realistic, and then let's go and see. This might take a while whilst it actually creates it. Space. We can do space. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Richard, for joining us as well. So it is obviously creating it, and it's doing something. So hopefully, bear with us. There you go. And we have let's just flick this up here. And there you go. We have a London scene. And unfortunately, this isn't an Unreal environment. It is basically a 360, well, a panoramic image that it is cropping us in. Because hopefully Big Ben's not looking like that. But this is obviously early days, and as we know, the better the prompt we have. Oh, sorry, that's my bad. Let's transition over here. So the better the prompts, as we all know with AI, the better the outcome. But yeah, it's very impressive. So I think one more will do space as was requested. Let's do space next to black hole with space ships nearby. Let's go for that. And sorry, I keep forgetting to transition between two. Getting excited because we should, because it's fun and creating stuff is fun. And let's see if this actually works. Hopefully, there you go. Hey, and the actual comments are working as well. Perfect. As we wait for this, there you go. Let's push this down. And there we are. We are in space with what looks like a landing pad. So I think, and I've done it again, haven't transitioned. There you go. So there you go. There we are. So I hope that this has given you a glimpse into virtual production and accessibility. So the app I've been using to demonstrate this is called Skyglass, and I think you can try it out for free for a certain amount of time if you want to have a play yourself. And I'd love to hear what you actually make of it, and whether it's going to be the next big thing or it's going to be a fad. Great to hear what you think. And I think I am going to cut to here, and I'm going to sign off and say thank you very much for all those who have tuned in today. Hopefully it hasn't been too rambly or all over the shop. But if you want to find out more, or speak to myself about these ideas, I'd love to hear from you. So drop me a line, and until next time, all I have to do is thank everybody for watching and have a good one.